The rain did not bring life that day. It brought a silent, microscopic invasion from the stars. In the opening moments of Yeon Sang-ho's Parasyte, The Grey, we are not treated to the typical bombast of an alien invasion film. There are no massive ships hovering over Seoul, no declarations of war. Instead, there is only the soft, terrifying descent of green spores, drifting like dandelion seeds into the unsuspecting crowds of a music festival. This is where our journey into the uncanny begins, a reimagining of Hitoshi Iwaki's legendary manga that manages to be both a respectful spiritual successor and a fiercely independent beast of its own. In this world, the parasite does not simply kill, it erases. It enters through the ear, consumes the brain, and wears the human face like a stolen mask. It is the ultimate form of identity theft, a biological coup d'état that leaves the body intact while the soul is discarded. Yet, in the center of this nightmare stands Jeong Su-in, a young woman whose life was already a series of scars and silences long before the spores fell. Su-in is our protagonist, but she is also a biological anomaly. Because of the physical trauma her body was enduring at the moment of infection, the parasite, later named Heidi, fails to take over her brain. This failure creates a haunting symbiosis. Su-in and Heidi are two souls sharing a single house, but they can never meet face to face. They exist in the gaps of each other's consciousness. When Su-in sleeps, the monster awakens, her head splitting open into a terrifying array of gray, prehensile blades and sensory organs. When Heidi retreats, Su-in returns to a world that fears her, branded as a mutant by the very species she is trying to protect. This dynamic shifts the show from a simple us versus them narrative into a deeply lonely exploration of what it means to belong nowhere. Su-in is too human for the parasites and too parasitic for the humans. She is the Grey of the title, inhabiting the murky twilight between survival and extinction. Contrast this internal struggle with the clinical, frozen rage of Choi Jun-kyung, the leader of the specialized task force known as Team Grey. If Su-in represents the blurred lines of the new world, Jun-kyung represents the hard, unyielding edge of human desperation. She is a character forged in the fire of loss, having lost her husband to a parasite, only to keep his infected, shackled body as a radar to detect others of his kind. Her presence in the series brings a chilling procedural element to the horror. She views the parasites not as a new form of life, but as a cancer to be excised with surgical precision. Her weapon of choice is not just the gun, but the ear test, a brutal simplification of humanity. If you can't hear the truth, or if you don't fit the mold, you are the enemy. Then there is Sol Kong-woo, the small-time gangster whose path crosses with Su-in. Kong-woo provides the much-needed heartbeat of the series. He is a man running away, from his past, from his failures, and from the sister he lost to the spores. Through him, we see the ground-level reality of the invasion. While the government fights a war of tactics, Kong-woo is fighting a war of the heart. His relationship with Su-in, and by extension, his uneasy communication with Heidi, forms the emotional backbone of the story. He becomes the bridge between the girl and the monster, the only person willing to look at the shifting blades of Heidi's face and still see the broken girl underneath. Visually, Parasyte, The Grey is a masterclass in modern K-horror. Director Yeon Sang-ho, the visionary behind Train to Busan, uses the urban landscape of South Korea to create a sense of claustrophobia. The parasites don't hide in the woods, they hide in the church, in the police station, and in the family home. The creature effects are a grotesque ballet of shifting flesh. When a parasite opens its head, the sound design is wet and metallic, a jarring reminder that these beings are purely functional, biological machines. They lack human emotion, yet they quickly learn to mimic human structures. The Church of the Grey is a chilling commentary on how easily the most alien of forces can adopt the language of human organization, religion, hierarchy, and power to achieve their goals. As the series progresses, the philosophical weight becomes heavier. The parasites are not inherently evil, they are simply hungry. They are the ultimate mirrors. They look at humanity and see a species that organizes itself into hives, governments, armies, corporations, and they decide to do the same. They realize that to conquer the world, they don't need to kill everyone, they just need to control the head of the organization. This leads to a high-stakes political thriller subplot involving the infiltration of the regional government, pushing the show beyond mere body horror into a critique of social structures and the fragility of peace. The climax of the series is not just a battle of blades, but a battle of philosophies. It asks the question, can two different species ever truly coexist, or is the gray area merely a temporary pause before one side annihilates the other? So-in's journey towards self-acceptance, and Heidi's gradual understanding of human sacrifice, provides a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak landscape. Heidi, a creature of pure logic, eventually realizes that protecting So-in is the only way to ensure her own survival, a cold calculation that slowly begins to look like something resembling care. And then, there is the final stroke of genius, the bridge to the wider universe. The arrival of a certain visitor from Japan in the final scene is more than just fan service. It is a thematic handshake, a signal that the struggle for coexistence is a global phenomenon. It expands the scope of the story, suggesting that while this chapter in Korea has reached a resolution, the larger dialogue between the invaders and the hosts is only just beginning. Parasyte, the Gray is a visceral, thought-provoking descent into the heart of the uncanny. It takes the DNA of a classic and mutates it into something contemporary, urgent, and undeniably Korean. It is a story about the masks we wear, the monsters we hide, and the terrifying, beautiful possibility that even in a world of parasites and hunters, no one has to be truly alone. It is a symphony of gray in a world that wants everything to be black and white.